I want to be clear to those who try to oppose the United States. I want to be clear to those who wish to do us harm. I want to be clear to those around the world who want to destroy our way of life and that of our allies and friends. The United States military, despite all our challenges, despite our op-tempo, despite everything we've been doing, will stop you and we will beat you harder than you've ever been beaten before. Make no mistake about that. Other countries, Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, went to school on us. They closely watched how we fought in '91 and '03. They studied our doctrine, our tactics, our equipment, our organization, our training, and our leadership. And in turn, they revised their own doctrines, and they are rapidly modernizing the militaries today to avoid our strengths in hopes of defeating us at some point in the future. We can now, and we will remain in the future, retain the capability to rapidly deploy, and we will destroy any enemy, anywhere, anytime.
All right, shalom, more praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the honest, the apostles of GMS. Salutation to you brothers and a few sisters out there. All right, pretty much as you can see in the intro, the U.S. Attorney General, or one of the top generals of the U.S., boldly made a statement that any other foreign troops or foreign countries, if they go against America, they're gonna be grinded down. So flat out, America's response is to Russia's response, because Russia said if the U.S. continue attacking Syrian army, they're gonna shoot their planes down. So what do the U.S. do in turn? They go verbally say, if you go to war with us, we'll grind you down. Basically, World War III is now becoming more direct between Russia and the U.S., leaving everybody in limbo, because that Attorney General, he said China, Iran, I believe he said Syria. So he mentioned all these other countries that has studied the U.S. and how their military tactics is all this and that, but they still would be like, you don't want nothing with us. Why the so-called white man act like this? Because he's proud as hell. He don't believe that he's going to be taken down by anything or anyone. All right. The whole world could come against the U.S. and they feel in their heart of hearts they could take everybody down. That's how proud they are. That's how delusional they are. Okay? But this is all in the scriptures. This is everything that general said. That's how Esau is, man. All right. The first scripture I'm going to bring out is Psalms 10. Start at 2. It says, "The wicked is proud. The wicked in his pride do persecute the wicked, the poor. Let them be taken in their the devices that they had imagined. For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire and blessed the covenants whom that Lord abhorreth." Because the way America, the so-called white man, all right, took this land by rape, robbery, and slaughter, but that he boasts and brag about like it was a blessing, man. Okay? So now he boasts and brag about how he took down the Native Americans. He boasts and brag about every other country that they ever went to war with. And they boast and brag and say that nobody can stop their military might. That's what the general was saying, man. He flat out made a statement that you don't want to go to war with us. Alright? And it says, the wicked through the proud of his countenance, and he was a proud ass devil, man. I was a proud devil right there. To make a bold statement like that, look, I don't care if you have the best Navy, the best quote-unquote military personnel, as far as Marines and Army. If Russia, China, Iran gets involved against you by yourself, you're gonna lose. All right, that's why there is a NATO. So these things, y'all could go attack back. But if America was by itself and with no allies, they can't take on Russia. They can't take on China. They can't take on none of them. But the pride of this so-called white man's heart, the Lord has really deceived this fool. It says, And okay, back in Psalms 10 and 4, the wicked through his pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. Because he's not thinking about the Most High. That's why they do what they do. That's why they gunning down niggas. Because they got away with murder. Alright? When they took this land, when they brought you Negroes here in cargo slave ships, alright, there was no repercussions for all their actions. So they felt they untouchable, they invincible. They could do whatever they want. But the Lord has something planned for them. Alright? It says, his ways are always grievous, thy judgment are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffed at them. And that was the point. He's puffing right now. Russia is America's enemy. Okay? Pretty much Russia and the US is neck and neck equal in certain things. As far as military might. But Russia has more ICBM missiles than America. More devastating ICBM missiles. Their technology is better. Their military might is better. But in their eyes, they puff it up at them. They pump in their chest. Saying that y'all can't take us down. We'll grind you to pieces. Why? Because the Lord put that proud devil spirit on them. Since I said that Jeremiah 49 and 16. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and thy pride of thy heart, O that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. That holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as an eagle, will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. So, although they have all this great technology, they have a heart program, okay, the Lord's gonna take them down, man. They gotta have satellites set in the heavens, in case, not a case, but when Yahweh Shai comes back, they think they're going to fight him back, the Lord's gonna take them down. That's how proud and stupid the so-called white man is, man. He's the most dumbest, powerful person that's ever been created. Because there's been no judgment after all the things that he have done in history. The Lord never judged him for it. Because the Lord is waiting for a perfect time to pour out everything on him. And how the Lord's going to pour it out on him? He's going to use ICBM nuclear missiles, the same weapon that they built to shake up the world, to put the world on notice. The same thing that the Lord's gonna take their ass out. Alright? As I said, I made that statement. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, so although they got away from killing the Native Americans, bringing the Negroes here in cargo slave ships, bringing all the tribes here and oppressing the shit out of them, killing them, raping them, robbing them, okay, bringing their other Edomites, taking over the land, alright? Continue raping and robbing these people. You fast forward and gunning niggas down, no problem, nothing's going on. All these things is happening and nothing happened to them, so they continuously do it. They get proud. Okay, they believe in their heart of hearts that nobody can take them down because they got away with everything. But this is what the scripture says. Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. Because although they get away with all these things, it's better off that you fear the Lord, because the Lord's going to do something to these people. And it says, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow. So although the so-called white man got away with taking over the Americas, putting his name on everything, kicking out people out of Europe, bringing them to cargo slave ship, taking out people from the west coast of Africa, all this horrific act, giving out people smallpox, AIDS, crack, all these things that he did, is all that's gonna be nothing but a shadow. Alright? It's gonna be all gone. All his hard work is gonna be gone. Okay, it says, because he feareth not before the Most High, this is a vanity which is done upon the earth, that they be just men, unto whom it happeneth according to the work of the wicked, again there be wicked men to whom it happeneth according to the work of the righteous. I said that this is also vanity. So no matter what Esau does, it's all in vain, man. Because when his time comes, the Lord's not going to hold back on him. Isaiah 47, I will start at 8. Therefore hear now this, thou that given to pleasure, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's talking about who? America. And this children's talking about is their army, their military might, their navy, alright, their air force, okay, their CIA, the greatest intel that they have, okay, the FBI, another intel that they work within the government. So they believe in their heart of hearts that everything that they have would prosper. Nobody's gonna take them down. This is exactly what the general was saying. They will beat you into powder. Alright? He made a bold statement. He better live it up to it. Because America's at his last end, man. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. What two things? Alright, it's gonna explain it to you. The loss of children and widowhood. America's gonna be destroyed, and his army is gonna be destroyed. Alright? In one day, in 1 hour. So you could boast and brag about how you got the greatest military in the world, but according to the scriptures, y'all gonna be utterly destroyed. America's gonna be wiped out, the biggest desert on the planet Earth. Alright? And it says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and the great abundance of thy enchantments. Because the multiple of America's sorceries is what? Nobody can beat America. Alright? They put propaganda, have you feel like they're untouchable. That's sorcery right there, man. To give the people false hope, like nothing bad is ever gonna happen. But all that puffing their chest, all that talk, that macho bravado that America has against all these other countries, the Lord is going to shrink all that shit, man. Alright? And all America's witchcraft, his false philosophy on the planet Earth, is all going to come to naught. Alright, the last scripture. Revelations 18, I'm sorry, at 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. Because who is over here? The apostles, the prophets, alright? The saints of the Most High. They're here in America. So it said, rejoice over her. Alright, it says, for the Most High have avenged you on her. So how the Lord's going to avenge all the travesty that I just made mention of? It's going to break it down. It says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. And what is that great millstone? That's all those ICBM missiles that's ever been created coming down upon America. 200 million missiles bombarding this place. One missile alone could do damage, but the Lord is about to overkill, alright, here in America. So, though America may feel that it is a queen, alright, that rules over all of other nations, and it has the greatest army, but this day is going to wipe all that out, alright. The Lord is going to beat you to powder, alright. He's gonna grind you down, alright. And it says, and cast it into the sea, saying, the sea is talking about all the multitude of people, because here in America you can find any nation on the planet Earth here. It said, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So with violence, the same violence that you have put upon all these other nations, and what you did upon mainly what you did upon the nation, the children of Israel, which are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. With violence, this place is going to be taken down. This country was funded by violence. They did a protest to the Native Americans that they want land and this and that. All that's bullshit. All that protesting is bullshit. By violence is the only language that the so-called white man understands. And by violence is the only way the so-called white man is going to go down. by the hand of the Most High. Yahweh Shem Shah. Alright? That being said, brother was edifying. This man's pride is just oozing out, man. And the Lord's about to smack his pride right off of him. Alright? With that being said, shalom.